doing now for about 6 years. And the company that I work with has been promoting since 2002. So well before it became the kind of fad that it is today. Um, so I know that it's something that I enjoy, it's something that a lot of people do, but not so much that I enjoy it while I'm doing it, but it's not so bad once you're used to it, and the feeling afterwards is really great and really worth it. So I did some research to look up what's the deal with intermittent fasting. I mean, I know that it makes me feel better, but I was just wondering if there's actual research about that. So I found an article, I found a few articles, but I'm going to quote one in particular as on the I found on the Harvard Health blog, and it's kind of cool. It was written by an MD who was very much against intermittent fasting. She was like, yeah, it's a fad, and just eat less, move more, da da da, you know. But she's recently changed her mind, which I thought was really cool. So she went and updated her article that she'd written because she found that research that on a certain type of intermittent fasting, which is called restricted time or early diurnal fasting, that they actually did research and found that it helps. Now, I think that the different kinds of intermittent fasting are all going to help with different kinds of people. For some people, it's a good idea to just restrict the time in which they eat. And let me just look at what she found. So she was talking about, let me see, she found info that suggests that it reduces inflammation and improves insulin sensitivity, which, of course, if you are somebody like me who's getting older and having more trouble with insulin resistance, then yeah, increasing insulin sensitivity is a good thing. The thing about insulin is that it's a hormone that comes up after you eat, and it helps you put sugar into your fat cells if you don't burn it all. So if you're eating sugar and you don't move enough for your body to utilize it all, that insulin is what puts it into your fat cells and gives you that lovely shape that we all love so much. But I'm not talking here about appearances. It's not about appearances, it's about health, because as I've hammered so many times, it's the visceral fat, the belly fat. It doesn't matter that it's unsightly. The reason we think it's unsightly is because that we instinctively know how bad it is for us. It really envelops our organs, and it causes inflammation, and it causes all sorts of trouble. So intermittent fasting is one way to reduce that fat, and the way it works is that it helps you go into ketosis, in which your body is actually burning fat in the form of ketone bodies for fuel, and that's what helps you actually lose weight when you do intermittent fasting. It's not just that you're not eating, but that you're actually burning fat if you get yourself into ketosis. So what this MD was recommending, which I thought was interesting, she liked the early day feeding. So like say eat from 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. and then don't eat the rest of the time. That might be a little hard socially. Personally, I actually prefer to do like a 48-hour fast in which I'm just not eating anything except these cute little drinks that I use just to support the reduction in inflammation and so on. And it gives you a little bit of calories. It's like 40 calories in this little bottle, and I have 8 of them, so that's not a huge amount. And of course I have my bulletproof coffee because I have to have that every day to keep my digestive system happy. So hey Everline, so yeah, so intermittent fasting. So as I said, I was happy to find this information. Actually, I took a look. There's lots of research out there. People are researching this like crazy, and they've certainly found in lab animals, there's no question, hey Gail, there's no question that intermittent fasting will reduce their cholesterol, their tendency to heart disease, and so on. There's not been as much research in humans because it's a lot easier to control how lab animals eat. People lie. But I found some really interesting things. Like, for instance, I found that intermittent fasting can cause a reduction in symptoms in people in MS. I did not know that, but if you think about it, if you're going to reduce inflammation, you're going to have that happen. And certainly a friend of mine who's had MS for many years and ran a half marathon just a couple of days ago, she has been doing intermittent fasting since 2003 when she joined the company that I work with, and I have absolutely no doubt that that has helped keep her symptoms at bay. Like, she was told that she would be in a wheelchair before she was 40, and she is almost 50, and she runs half marathons. So they're going. She's run the Boston Marathon like, I don't know, 7 times. So hey, hello Nick, hello Kevin. Yeah. So anyway. So nice to get all these people near the end of the video, but I'm actually going to finish it up, and you can always watch the replay. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. So yeah, so just to conclude, there's been a lot of research showing that intermittent fasting is in fact really good for reducing inflammation and so on, as well as weight loss if that's what you're looking for. And there's all sorts of systems that you can do. There's all sorts of different kinds. You can do like restricted feeding times, like this MD suggested. You can do a supported fast like I do, 24 hours or 48 hours. It takes a little getting used to, but in the end, I personally prefer it that way. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. And if I do have a whole bunch of notes here that I took from that article and from other articles that I read. Too much to talk about on a short video. So if you want to drop me a message, I will be happy to send you those notes. So have a great evening. Remember, I love you. Talk to you again soon. Bye.